Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, Pay Funk Thinker, right? Out here in the lab, where I do what I do for you. Oh, I got something good for you today. It's gonna be a good lesson. We're gonna play the mind game again. I've been watching my man Joe Dispenza and man Lipton. Them guys is good with neurology and the brain concept and how the mind works and how the brain works. So I took a few lessons from them. I mean, manipulate a little bit of it and went to my lesson to get to my right thinking. So you know what we do. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message in the story for life. Just another life lesson. I'm getting it to you. You tune in and receive. No, we got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking. Mission. And I'm on it. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers, anybody who follow my concept, is to do just that. The purpose and the goal is for you to know thyself. If that's what you want to know, I'm your man. Let's go. The question, do you know you? You got a problem with that? Tune in. I got you. I can help you with that. Here's the question. One of these persons are you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Don't be them. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. I love you. That's why I do what I do. For you, stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual law clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right? Think of know yourself. And to my eye, be true. I'm a thinker. I'm cerebral, so I'm constantly thinking, conceptualizing, learning, gaining information, slicing, dicing, putting together so I can get a point across to you, simplify, so to speak, break it down so anybody can understand it. Okay. A lot of times them guys talk, I listen to them, I hear them, and they talk a little higher. So I think take it, bring it down so to our level. Okay, call layman's term. No, just simplify it. Okay, you can't do a fraction until you simplify it. So all that complication, no, break it down, simplify it. That's what right thinker philosophy is about. So right now, right thinkers, let's talk about to know thyself. You have to love thyself. And I heard when the doctor said a lot of people's problem is they don't know how to love. Why? Because they don't love themselves. If you don't have love for you, you got problems. So let's try to talk about this love thing. It's really a mind thing. Okay. They say God is love. Why? Because he dwells in the heart of man. The heart conscious is spelled conscience. Conscience with the science. I mean, there's something behind it. Conscious, conscious. That's just conscious. That's the mind. That's this one. You got a mind and a mind. A heart mind and a mind. One spelled one way, but they mean the same. Why? Because you got two minds. That's another lesson. I get that lesson coming for you. But let's talk about how love and consciousness is what he gave us. Spirit is the heart. Love, okay? And the idea of consciousness is what? Free will. Decision making. All animals have instinct. They don't have consciousness. Okay, so we are superior with that name, with that concept of being conscious, so we can know who we are and who to worship and give praise to. Now, if you love, if you love and know thyself, that means you know God consciously and you feel him within your heart, aka spiritual enlightenment or nihas anointment Christhood, heartshood. It's all you coming to realize you and God are one. That's it. The kingdom of heaven is within. My Father and I are one. But that's becoming conscious of that. A lot of people say that, but they're not really conscious. Why? Because they ain't really in it. They don't feel it. Love comes from what? The heart, aka God's dwelling place in us. Knowledge comes from the mind, aka consciousness, free will, to be able to think and make decisions based on what's best for you. You can serve the Lord, you can serve yourself. It's your choice, and He gave you that. So when those who like to serve themselves and they're successful at it, they could care less about God. Why? Because they self-serving. A selfless servant is a God servant, doing things for the right reason, helping people out, doing the right thing. What's the difference between them two people? Which one are you? You like to perpetrate that you're doing God's work and really doing you? We know a bunch of you guys. Let's talk about this right there. Now, to have love for yourself is unconditional. That's from everything is from the heart. I swear from the heart. Okay, I love everything from the heart. That's God's dwelling place. That's the gimme. When you become conscious, when you can start articulating, comprehending, and putting to use, manifesting the things that you think. Your thoughts are power, but the thought that's from the heart goes to the mind, comes out. That's how it's done. That's how we're created in God's image. Okay? But if you love yourself, that's unconditional love. That's God also. But to be conscious of your higher self, that's knowledge. You learn that. I can't teach you consciousness from the heart. Why? That's already there. I can educate you. I can enlighten you. God is spirit. Enlightenment is knowledge. Informing you, give you something to know. So I'm giving you God knowledge. That's what right thing philosophy is based on. For you to be knowledgeable of God, aka so you can know thyself. Moving on, let's go. Now, to know and feel is heart, mind, coherence. That's my phrase I had years ago. I see my man Dispenza is using it, and he break it down and he simplifies it. So I ain't gonna apply with that. Same concept I had. When the heart feels, it sends the message to the conscious brain. When they're working together as one, that's harmony, that's maya, that's balance. Now you're free to communicate with your higher self. You're also free to manifest whatever you can conceive, you can achieve. Ain't that the concept? If you can think it, you can make it happen. So that's the whole idea. God conceives all, so He can manifest all. That's the idea, that's the concept. Now, loving yourself is knowing thyself. I have always loved me some me. But back then, I was called conceited. My first sweetheart told me, I love you more than I love myself. I said, baby, I can't return that for you. Why? I love me some me first. Okay? They was ignorant, not me. I always had love for me. I always knew it was all about me. So that's the first order of man, self-preservation. Starts with the heart. Love yourself first, okay, is the only way you can what? Love others correctly. If you don't have love for yourself, you can't show and have it for others. This is why some of us just heart cold, black heart, whatever you want to call it. But when you have no compassion, no empathy for others, you're a sorry person. You got that's not good. Okay, that's all. And self-love is the first love. Love for thyself. Okay. The ego, here you go. When you're egoistic, your ego requires love from you. Not just love, worship, admiration, everything that we give to our higher self, your ego self wants that from you. And if you ain't smart enough and raise your consciousness from the ignorant level of serving your ego to the enlightened level, knowledge of self, where you can gain a higher conscious level and understanding who you are and who you representing, the ego won't allow that. Why? It don't want it. Why? It wants to be in control. That's why. But the ego will acquiesce to the higher self, and he will be your best worker. Okay. Now watch this. That self-love, that's your lower nature. That's cool. That's the first. You should love yourself. I just heard a story about the Muslim concept with Iblis and God. He loved God so much he couldn't bear not to be with God. So his punishment was to go to hell. And he was punished and by taking away the thing he loved most, which was God. So if your ego is like Iblis, it's going to drive you to hell. Why? Because him and God don't get along. Okay? Your higher self will show love to others even when they're wrong. That's what they say. Somebody do something to you, you're supposed to forget. I don't like to subscribe to that theory. Okay, I don't like it. I don't subscribe to that. Understand that. I could care less what y'all say. I could care less what it say. That's not a theory of mine that I'm gonna follow. Simple. My discernment tell me no. Moving on. When you love yourself, you won't, watch this, allow an addiction to drugs, alcohol, sex, desires, etc. Why? To control your life. If you have control and love for yourself, some things you just won't allow yourself to do. I remember, no matter how gangster, how thuggish I was, certain things I just wasn't across that line. Okay, that's knowing thyself. There's a limit. My love, my love of myself really kept me from going over the line, crossing that line of no return, doing something that you may not be able to fix. Okay, some things you can't redo, so it's better to be careful. So for my love for myself, that internal love kept me from doing anything in my life that's right there philosophy. Maintain and understand how far you will and won't go. Why? Because there's consequences. And never forget, Boys in the Hood, when they killed Ricky, they got in the car and were ride down. My man said, pull over. He started thinking, the consequences of this action, I'm out. That's what you got to be able to do. And if you're in a situation, you've been there, I've been there, I realize, that's what I just said. I love myself and the fear of my old man. I don't want to do that. Okay, moving on. Love, the conscious, CONSCIENCE. That's the heart conscious. Okay, that's the mind, the creative mind, the creative aspect of the mind. Two hemispheres, like they say, left is the female emotion, right? Okay, but yeah, your conscious mind is the heart. At Judgment Day, that's what they judge you by. The brain had no use for a while. Once the body ceased to exist, it had no use. Conscious is in the heart. Everything is stored in the heart. That's from the ancient concept. So when you had to get judged, they judge you by how mayat you live, not how Christian, Islamic, or Judaism or Buddhism. And no, mayat. That's why you see me give hers. Where we at? Now, remember, the heart is the house of God. It has a conscious mind. It stores information. They say the road to hell is paved with what? Good intentions. If your heart ain't in it, the intent can be good, but it ain't gonna be wrong. Why? Because it ain't got the heart behind it. You need the backing of the heart, the conscious, okay? That creates thoughts and is our, and hence, two minds. The first mind, the heart. Second mind connects it with that. I tell you, the heart mind coherence, they need to work as one. They're two different things, but they work simultaneously as one. That's how you get next level. Your love for yourself is what's judged. Again, yeah, yes, your heart holds all the truth, all your secrets. Okay, secrets of the heart, everything is the heart, the heart, the heart. Now, I don't know if they really recognize, understand how important the heart is, but they get the heart is building. That's God's dwelling place. Okay, the ancients told you that. The Masons teach you that also. Now, remember, Ta thought himself from the heart conscious to create himself. The thought come into existence. Let there be. He's the manifester of creation. Why? Because of the heart consciousness was giving him the power to utter heka, words of power. He can conceive it, he can feel it, he can conceive it, he can utter it, and it will be. That's the power that we have as humans, as spiritual beings. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now, the pure, the heart, meaning if you are 100% good, intent pure, good things pure, actions good, then the heart will be light as Maya's feather. That's the concept, and that's how you lighten and purify your heart by doing good deeds, treating people right, and doing the right thing for the right reason. That's all you got to do. Okay, next one. Knowing is the subconscious mind. Here you go. Now, the subconscious mind is the showrunner, pretty much. All right. It runs the body, aka the free will to think. You don't have to think for your digestive system to work. You got to think for your heart to beat. Okay. Why? Subconscious mind takes care of that. Okay. The subconscious mind is at work when you're conscious. It's just the subconscious. Why? It sits and waits till the conscious gets done to do, and then it's gonna rise up and do the do. That usually happens once you what? Go to sleep. Okay. Or meditation helps the subconscious mind come into play also. Communing with your higher self. That's the subconscious mind. Okay, here we go. Break it down a little better for you, hopefully. Our subconscious is also our gift from God. The subconscious is the showrunner. It runs the body. You ain't got to think about nothing. It takes care of all of that. Your process is what? The five senses: the smelling, the seeing, the hearing, the touching, and the tasting. But the thinking is the most important part. That's subconscious. It does that continuously. It don't stop, even when you sleep. Okay? Your subconscious runs the body. All your body functions are done by the subconscious mind. It runs that part of the body. Okay? Don't have to think about the heartbeat. If you don't have to think about inhale, all that is done voluntarily by the subconscious, which runs the body. Okay? The subconscious really knows all about you. Why? It controls you. If you ever had a wet dream, the mind controls the body. The body will react to what the mind says. You are what you think you are. You are what you believe you are. Those are powerful innuendos that every individual should take seriously. Why? Because you are in control. If you don't realize that, then a lot of times you don't know thyself. Hence, that's the purpose for knowing thyself. It runs your body for you. Use your consciousness for the other purpose and reason. Why? Become conscious. Wake up. Get knowledge of self. Use it. Manifest things in the conscious state of mind. Okay? The subconscious, watch this. Now, subconscious, okay, the subconscious, which is you, will acquiesce to what? The heart conscious, like Set and Haru. Subconscious under, lower, conscious higher. So when the conscious and the subconscious come together, the subconscious will acquiesce to the conscious mind, the higher self. So that's what it's all about. The only person your subconscious will listen to is who? And obey is your heart conscious, the higher self. Again, it's already built in. So I'm hearing these scientists and neurologists talk about that good stuff about the mind. It's all still matching up to what I already know from my ancient times. They haven't taught me nothing new yet. I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, I'm even doing this stuff. Match right in with mine. Okay, moving on. Let me wrap this up. Then I preach. Oh, yeah, I got to get this done. Here we go. Loving is knowing. So loving is one thing. That's the conscious heart. That's the heart. That's the love. Knowing is the conscious mind. When they become one, you are what? Spiritually enlightened. That's my goal as the teacher, right in philosophy, to get your heart and mind working together at once. So you become spiritually enlightened, know yourself, and you can be your best self. From that point on, you are the captain of your destiny. You're in control of your destiny, so to speak. Without knowledge of self, you're not in control. Okay? Understand that. Loving is the heart conscious. Knowing is your subconscious. When they act as one, heart, mind, coherence, when they have that intercourse come together as one, like male and female, they want to become so much. She wants to be him, he wants to be her. So y'all have intercourse become one. And the offspring is what? Knowledge. Okay, when the subconscious and the heart come together, that thing is enlightenment, knowledge. That's the heart mind intercourse, aka coherence. And it will yield what? Spiritual enlightenment for all individuals, aka Akus. It will make you, that's to be an enlightened being while walking earth. That means you wake up before you die. Okay? If your heart says no, if my heart says no, my mind will say no also. At one point in time, they wasn't on the same page. So one would say this, one would say that. That's called confusion. Okay, double mind or whatever you call it. But when they work together, that's harmony, heart, mind, coherence. That's enlightenment. That's spiritual awareness. When I was spiritually ignorant, I let my mind lead me with the wrong way. Selling drugs, running the streets, doing nonsense. Okay, that's all this heart, this mind. not the heart. When I got spiritually enlightened, guess what happened? I let my heart-mind combination lead me the right way now, every day. And you can do the same. Practice. Stay tuned. I got more for you. I'm out.